Okay, good afternoon. This is Debbie Davis. It is June 29th, 2026. Okay, so I want to touch on some things that I don't hear, I haven't heard any pastors so far touching on, and well, several different things. Okay, so we just had some devastating things happen. There was that huge earthquake, or huge volcano in Chile, is my understanding, that killed many people. And then we had an earthquake in the Venezuela, two earthquakes. Okay, so these are pretty devastating type events. But what I don't hear anybody talking about is that there are some things that are talked about similar to this in the book of Revelation. Okay, so because if you know the Bible, I've been reading this scripture for a while, and it basically talks about, in the Revelations 8, about a volcano, because it says in the book of Revelation 8 to 9, it says the second trumpet, okay, something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea. So, I mean, a mountain burning with fire, that's pretty much a volcano, right? So they just didn't know how to explain what a volcano is back then, right? Okay, so was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. Okay, many biblical commentators interpret this as a massive volcano eruption. Okay, all right, so, pretty much it's explaining a volcano. Okay, and that is what we just had happen. And and then it says after that, it says then right after that in Revelations 9, it says the opening of the abyss will happen after that. And then he opened the bottomless pit, and smoke arose out of the pit like a smoke of a great furnace. Okay, this description is frequently compared to a thick sun-blocking ash. Okay, then now I was just looking at these things with the moon going on in the last couple days. It's been like a strawberry, like a red. Okay. All right, that's what we have going on just tonight. It's going to be like a blood moon. Okay. Now, I would not be surprised if we have, like it says, I would not be surprised if we have some things that start to happen in the ocean. It says that there's going to be some things in the ocean after that. Okay. Strawberry moon. Okay. 9 hours ago. What is a strawberry moon? Okay. I mean, it was, basically, and it was like June 29th. There was strawberry moon will rise over Mississippi. Okay. Red moon appeared in Boulder, Colorado, June 27th. Okay. All right. So these basically, it's all aligning. It's like the moon will start to, it'll be like a darkness, or a this type of thing. This is all, to me, this is lining up right into the biblical book of Revelations. Okay. So, and then these people, and then there's all these things, all these people trying to interpret what happened here at the White House with these pictures, with Trump, and these tall white beings. Okay, they're trying to say, well, there's things that have come out saying, these are people that are with the Norwegian Guard, because they look, blonde and Norwegian type looking. Okay, no, I don't believe that's who it is. I believe I know exactly who these people are. Um, and I personally, I told, okay, 2 days before they appeared at um, at the White House, I saw a UFO right over where I live here in South Dakota. Okay, and I told people I saw it. It was just there for a second, and then it was gone. Okay, it was a cigar shaped looking white, and that's not the first time I've seen this. Okay, I saw it over in Minnesota about in February or so of February, March, I think, of last year, and I did a video about it. Okay, so yeah, it was literally 2 days before I saw a UFO over here. Okay, I mean, I told people, and then 2 days later, these people arrive at the White House. They're tall, white. Okay, uh, I have told people about this before. There's beings that were here in the '60s that his name was Commander Thor, and he said he was from Venus. Okay, he's very tall, and there was a whole book written about it called "Stranger in the Pentagon." Okay, and okay, so try to find the picture here. So let me show you. These beings look exactly like the Ashtar command of the Galactic Federation, and they were talked about in that book, Stranger in the Pentagon, years ago. Okay, here. Okay, so this, if you haven't seen the picture, tall white men appear in red uniform with Trump, right? Okay. And they're trying to call it a fake and stuff like this. Okay, right? These guys. Okay. All right, they're really tall, blonde. Okay, now let's look at the what the Ashtar command looks like with the Galactic Federation. They look just like him. Okay, I've been have been aware of this. The Ashtar command is with the Syrian command, which is the highest command in the Galactic Federation. Okay, don't they look like that? That's exactly what they look like, don't they? They have a uniform. This is the Galactic Federation. This is the Ashtar command, which is with the Syrian Council, which is the highest level of council with Jesus Christ. Okay, in the Galactic Federation, and it seems to me that they are here now. Okay, that's a good thing. I would be celebrating it. Praise God. Praise Jesus. Okay, and guess what? Guess what bloodline they are in? The same one that I'm in. The same one Trump is in. The Mary Magdalene, Jesus Christ bloodline. Okay, that is they are, I believe, the same type of people with Commander Thor that came here in the '60s, and there was a book about it. And here there was pictures of him. He's very tall. There's pictures of Commander Thor here in the '60s. Okay, and he tried to warn our country back then. I get some people listened, some people didn't. I don't know. But I believe it's the same people, and he is from the planet of Venus. Okay? You know, people, you know, it was not a fake. There's already been these discussions, and they've proven that it's not a fake picture. Okay? Trump is in that same bloodline that they are in, which is the Abraham Jacob Jesus Christ Mary Magdalene bloodline, which also points to Venus. Okay, now I have been studying this, and I even admitted, I said I don't understand. I didn't think there was a bloodline because I thought Jesus was the atoning sacrifice, but there was. Okay, you can look at all these pictures of the El Greco signs, all the Da Vinci pictures. Mona Lisa, I believe, is actually Mary Magdalene. She had to hide herself. She was pregnant. Okay, there was a bloodline. Look at look at the Da Vinci Code movie. Okay, they tried to see, this is what Hollywood, they try to tell us these things, And apparently it's part of the Illuminati agenda. Like, they actually subtly tell us things in all these video and all these movies for all these years. And so it's like you have to understand, Satan operates legalistically in the courts of heaven because he still has power in the courts of heaven because he still was an angel. Okay, so he has to operate in a legal way. Okay, and then so they tell us, and then according to law, their law, and the courts of heaven law, and if we're too stupid to realize what they're telling us, then we deserve our consequences. They are telling us, okay, what's been happening, and and then if we're too stupid to do something about it, then they win. Okay, understand? They still have laws they have to follow, even if they are Satanists and Illuminati and things like that. I have learned this. Satan is a legalist. Okay, so they tell us these things. They've been warning us in different movies and things for years about these things that are happening. Okay, yeah, I believe that we are in the book of Revelations right now. Yes, I completely do. And I want to show some video. I still haven't gotten. I still have not received money back from this charge where I was illegally charged an extra night at the Quality Inn in Bismarck, North Dakota. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you why that ties into this whole biblical thing. I mean, I believe they were trying to kill me there at that day. Okay, look, I stayed there the first night. Okay, this was June 2nd. They took out $66. I found a deal. Oh, you can't. I found a deal on super.com or whatever, right? You know, and they just did the, you know, they just had the rate. Since I found this rate online, he just matched it, right? It was this really nice guy that I checked in with named Cliff. Okay, that was June 2nd. I've been to this hotel before. It's a really nice hotel. It's in Bismarck, North Dakota, because it's not that far from here. I'm kind of in the middle of where Bismarck is like 2 hours, Pierre's like 2 hours, Aberdeen is like an hour. Okay, I'm kind of in I'm in a small town, so I go sometimes I have to. There's things I can't get in here, right? So I have to. But I had been to this particular hotel before. It's a very nice hotel, and I'm part of the Choice Hotel Network. I've never had a problem with a hotel. Okay. I mean, in a hotel, I've never been like a problem or anything like that. I'm part of the Choice Awards. I was part of the Wyndham Hotel thing, you know. It's ridiculous the way I was treated there. Okay, so then so Cliff tells me, so I just wanted to stay for a few days. I had just things I wanted to get done there, and I also just was checking out the museums and different things. Okay, and so he says it'll be charged at the end of my stay, and he said it's charged because all of a sudden I get this charge. They told me that I'd be charged at the end. They took the but what was weird is that they took two deposits out for $100, not just one, two. So that's the first thing I noticed. Then the second thing I noticed is that he said I wouldn't be charged until the end, and all of a sudden, the second day I was there, I got $300. See if you can see it. $300.33 taken out. Okay, you have to understand, this is all symbolic of the 33rd Masons that are after me. Okay, the 33rds are the opposite of the Mary Magdalene bloodline. They're after us. They are they are the opposite of this bloodline. Okay, and they are sincerely, I believe, trying to kill me. It's not a joke. Okay, so I get this charge the next day, and I'm like, oh boy, let's see, $66.60 was taken out on Tuesday. 666. Okay, then I get charged not once but twice. So I go to the front desk and I'm like, wait a second, what is all? First of all, I got charged twice for the deposit. Then I get charged, and he's like, "Oh, that's weird. You weren't supposed to be charged anything until the final night." It was this guy at the front desk that checked me in that was really nice, that was given, and then he had put in a discounted rate for military, and then that wasn't applied like it was supposed to be. I was supposed to get money off, and I was supposed to get a credit. He sat there. I sat and watched him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, you didn't get the discount." And then he said my checkout was on the 7th. Okay, so this is the front desk guy. So I have the reservation is set through the end of the 6th. Okay, my checkout was supposed to be the 7th. So, and then I double checked after I got this, and I said, well, does this bring me through the end of the 6th then? And he said, yes, checkout is the 7th. He said, but I don't know why. Seems like they didn't give you a discounted rate that I had put in the system for you. So then he goes in and he was adjusting it, and I was supposed to get a refund off of this $300.33. Okay, that wasn't applied. Okay, that was never applied. Okay, so all of a sudden, like I said, okay, then something happened even before that. On the night of the 5th, I'm just sitting there in my room, watching TV or something or whatever, relaxing, and all of a sudden these maintenance guys that were like fishy looking, I believe they were Masons, all of a sudden they just come walking right in my room. All of a sudden I hear this wiggling at my door, and they come walking right in my room, like all the way in my room. And I was like, excuse me? And they said, oh, sorry, wrong room. So basically they were just checking if they had a key to be able to get in my room. I believe that they were going to try to kill me that day. The very next day I was swimming. I was just trying to enjoy the hotel. The last day I was there. And then I was in the room, and I get this knock on the door from the housekeeping, and they said, oh, we're told that you're supposed to check out today. And it was like a little after 11. I said, no, my reservation is through the night. And they said, well, no, we have you as checked out, so we're going to have to ask you to leave. And I said, excuse me? I said, my reservation was through the end of this day. Okay, so then I walk up to the front, and Cliff is no longer there. It's these two weird women, and they called the cops on me. They didn't even try to discuss, I said, or work with me in any way, even though my reservation was through the end of that day. All of a sudden, I'm told to leave. And so I said, well, fine. I don't know what happened here, but I'll leave as you asked me to. So I started putting my stuff started packing up. I didn't have that much stuff. But, yeah, I mean, this was completely illegal what happened here. Not only did you overcharge me, you charged $100 extra. And then, so that was $300. And I thought, okay, I was already supposed to get a refund. I didn't get the refund for what I was paid all the way through the 6th. Then, I'm getting kicked out on top of it. Okay, so anyway, I went ahead and left because these ladies were crazy. And the Cliff guy was no longer anywhere to be found. Okay, and the ones that I had checked in with, that I was familiar with at the front desk there, they were gone. And they were these weird ladies, and they called the police on me. I said, oh, really? You need to call the police? I'm like halfway out of the room already. Okay. Yeah. So this was on June 6th, June, which is 6, and then 6, and then 26. Okay. You have to understand, the Illuminati, these Satanists, they work with these numbers. Okay. That's why they charged me. How it was the charges on my account were 66, 60, and 333. Okay, and they were showing me a sign. I believe they were going to try to attempt to murder me. I fully believe that. So I went ahead and left because I was scared at that point, and I went ahead and left. And then the police show up, but I'm like halfway out, completely out. I had like one bag left to get, but the police, even though they were polite and fairly friendly. They what they did is wrong because they saw the charges on my account. They saw that I was overcharged one extra day, and that should have brought me one extra night right there. They saw, I showed them the charges on my account. I said my reservation is through one more night, and I'm being illegally kicked out of here. So if they were any good as cops, they should have taken the side of the paying customer instead of the hotel. When you clearly see, I showed them the charges. The hotel front desk showed them the charges. So they told me, we see the charges, but the hotel is asking for us to tell you to leave. Oh, so you don't listen to, or see, that's the problem I've had with the police for years, is that they don't listen. It's like they just taking orders, like from, you know, somebody that doesn't make any sense, and you're just taking these blind orders and just following these blind commands, and that is the problem that is making everybody so angry with you. Okay, it's not, they were very polite and I was polite back, but that does not make it okay the way that you acted. It still was illegal what they did to me, and you didn't have the customer side. You took the illegal management sides. Okay, so I still, and then all of a sudden, I get the final charge. And then, you heard me on the phone with one of the videos. Then not only was I illegally charged, overcharged for the time I was there, then she decides to charge me one extra night, that final night on the 6th, where I wasn't even there. Okay, so the final charge, was $438.49 for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like 4 nights. It was the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 5 nights. Okay, that's not a discounted rate that I was supposed to get for a hotel, and it's not a military rate. That's not the rate that I had, gotten on super.com. It's such a joke. I can't get a hold of the hotel. The corporate office went to some Filipino number, some number in the Philippines. It's just like, it's such fraud that is happening to me. And it all involves these 33rd degree Masons, because I am in this certain bloodline that they are targeting. It is not a joke. I mean, why do you think there's these certain numbers that they use? Okay, all over the place. And yeah, that day that I was kicked out, it was like, boy, they were like all into, kicking me out on June 6th, on the 6th and the 26th, and they were, hoping that they would like get away with killing me. But I told somebody, I'm totally freaked out staying here. Some maintenance guys just came in my room. This whole place is starting to freak me out. I was telling people, all of a sudden, a couple people had been, like the maids all got transferred out with other weird people. Like a bunch of stuff was going on that I was noticing. I am very, I am in extreme danger just because of my bloodline. Okay, it's just like it comes down from a really high level. Okay, so I just wanted to explain that's what happened there. And I do believe that these people are here to help us. That is good news. I do believe they are. Come on, part of the Norwegian Guard. I was on a Norwegian exchange program with Minnesota years ago. That's not what the National Guard looks like or whatever. It's like they're not part of the Norwegian Guard. I do believe they are part of the Galactic Federation. They are the Ashtar Command. You can look up the images that they've looked, what they look like. They're tall, pale white hair, and that's exactly what they look like. Okay, I believe they've been watching this planet for a long time. Okay, and but I do believe that that we are in the book of Revelations right now, and that apparently there's going to be this blood type moon again tonight. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's, maybe things starting to happen in the ocean, like it says. I mean, it says, I mean, so I would read your book of Revelation and look at what it says. Okay, God bless.